WTOP TV Channel 9, Washington, D.C. at 6 o'clock. This is Eyewitness News Weekend Report, Saturday, October 30th, 1971, with Mike Buchanan in the news, Peter Wiggins on the weather, and Warner Wolf with the sports. Here now, Mike Buchanan. Good evening, everybody, on this Saturday, October 30th, 1971. Here now the news. Montgomery County Executive James P. Gleason yesterday selected a 235-acre gold nursery property north of Rockville for the country's new landfill site to solve the critical emergency conditions of solid waste disposal. Gleason said he chose a gold tract over the two other sites because it was adjacent to the county's existing landfill and incinerator, adjacent to the B&O railroad tracks, and would cause at least traffic problems. The county council must decide whether to accept the Gleason's decision and put up the money to buy the land, perhaps as much as $5 million. Council President Nancy Garrett said that she opposed the use of the Gillard tract when would offer possible times when the council takes up the Gleason's proposal. Her alternatives will reportedly include the establishment of recycling centers around the county, purchase of an old quarry for use as a dump, and mail haul disposal system at the rail hall. Even if Gleason's proposals are carried out, the good site would be filled for the 3 years, he said. By the time the county would be decided on a long-term solution to its trash problem. The present landfill or dump in which the layers of the resident use are covered over with earth has not been closed. The county has dumped in its trash in a ravine between the old landfill and the slope in Rock Creek Park. Earlier this year, the county's Public Works Department proposed using a good property as a new landfill site, but the proposal was vigorously opposed by Rockville residents, the Rockville mayor, and the city council, in addition to various civic organizations that filed under a public hearing before Gleason and the county council that applaud the use of the good property as a county landfill. Gleason also recommended that the following action to help the county's manage disposal problems, the exception in the vicinity of the landfill of a place where county residents could bring bottles and cans for transport to the recycling plant at the county's expense. The recycling depot would be open December 5th if approved by the council. Recycling scrap paper from the county print shop, cardboard cartons from the county liquor dispensaries, and used computer cards from the county data processing center. Creation of a solid waste advisory plan, SWAP, as an advised county officials and development community-based programs with recycling. Julius W. Hobson, who 3 weeks ago called a press conference to support Marion Berry for a large seat on the D.C. school board, withdrew that support yesterday, charged that Berry is tied up with a daily tap machine. In a telegram and news meeting at the Berry headquarters, former school board member Hobson said he could not myself be linked with my political machine, as I'm sure that the education and welfare system of the D.C. school children will be affected adversely by politicians who purchase their elected offices. Hobson told the reporter that he will not support any of Berry's 3 rivals to the post, especially not one-time board president Anita F. Allen. Berry said Hobson is a good man for a private self-help organization that Berry heads, but hadn't meant for the Board of Education. He said that particularly objected to Berry's radio commercials, one in which he features Hobson's successful opponent in the D.C. delegate election, the Reverend Walt Louis Fondray. He said the commercials and the campaign were based on slogan and eligible on superstition, non-intelligence. I object to Anita Allen. Ceremonially, Hobson said, but for a stubbornness, she knows about education. I can deal with it. I have views about educational better than with somebody appealing on the basis of Martin Luther King and Jesus Christ. Mrs. Allen told the reporter, of course I agree with him about Berry Byman saying that all these forms. The board president said she is not a good enough politician to evaluate the effect of the Hobson's statement on the campaign. Washington area residents will get an extra hour of sleep tonight because the clock reverts to the standard time at 2 a.m. on Sunday. The end of 6 months of daylight savings time means that District of Columbia residents and those in nearly all the 50 states will be turning the clock back 1 hour before returning to the bed of the night. The new time regulation will be effective on April 30th when clocks will be set ahead 1 hour to balance out night's backward action.
Just since yesterday, ticket prices have jumped.
If black churches of Washington are a blog that can deliver votes, they say Delegate Walter Fondray, in addition to Marion Berry or Anita Allen, has a good deal at stake in Tuesday's school board election. Some observers say that Fondray, who is not running, may have much to win or lose in the candidate. Berry and Mrs. Allen, they point out that Fondray intended seeing that the churches, particularly in the Black Baptist churches, but put him in Congress. Upper re-election next year for his delegate seat, and Fondray is doing something many Black Baptist clergymen do not like. campaign for Marion of the protest politics and Pride Incorporated fame. I know some people like to be angry with me, said Fondway at a lunch meeting on clergy for Barry. They say I'm reading enemies for myself, born from and then some of Jesus' board that have once said, Fondway said, I'm confident that if a man seeks to save his own soul and he loses, I'm not out here to save my soul. The children need to be saved that God moves in a mysterious ways. With the churches and maybe contented when the election of Fondway and Mayhem, they did not have the respect of duly all the elementary. Armando Rojas and his wife Maria and their two small children came to Washington from Mexico City in March of 1970 looking for a way to make a better living. Rojas, not his real name, 32, said his search for a new life started shortly after he and his wife married 5 years ago. They soon found the money Rojas earned working long hours as a cashier at a Mexico City bank was not enough. They decided that the United States would be the answer here. They could find better paying jobs and educational opportunities for their children. It was hard in Washington at first getting settled and getting jobs instead, but now they have a small apartment in Maryland suburbs. Immigrants from the countries in the Western Hemisphere speak about must wait from 16 to 18 months to get a resident visa in the United States. Immigration officials said instead of many get 4-month tourist visas, stay here permanent and become legal aliens as did the Rojas family. The reasons that the Rojas give here are not identical represented those of many aliens who choose to come to this country and to Washington. Immigration officials represented the Catholic Immigration Services leaders and members of the Spanish-speaking community and the Rojas. The only ones interviewed who admitted to being legal aliens gave the picture of those reasons. Illegal aliens chose Washington.
That got a little confusing for some people.
I just got an email from my baby's daycare that
the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission yesterday elected Dr. Floyd D. Peterson, an engineering consultant from Kinston, and his new chairman, Jonette S. Morris, the commission's first woman member, as named vice chairman. Peterson will replace Salvatore Burina with John J. McMahon, was moved from the Bi-County Sewer and Water Agency's governing board by Prince George's County Executive William W. Kellett. Mrs. Norris, a registered nurse and a resident of Riverdale, currently is the only Prince George member on the 6-member commission, which would normally has 3 representatives from Prince George's and 3 from Montgomery. The other 2 members are George Murray and Carter Hubble, both from Montgomery. Mrs. Norris predicted that the change in leadership of the agency, which frequently has been criticized for having been
Parking bans in effect. It seems to be helping getting
to developer-oriented and not enough concern about the environment will result in new emphasis. Peterson was appointed to the commission only last September by Montgomery County Executive James P. Gleason. Peterson was a White House advisor under 4 presidents on public matters. Both he and Mrs. Norris said that they expected to vote almost full-time to their jobs at the head of the commission. Most of the day-to-day decisions in the past have been left to the staff. Peterson will see $6-7 a year from that, and Mrs. Norris will be paid $6,400. The other commission members earn $6,200 annually. Mrs. Norris previously served on the Prince George's Housing Commission and Recreation Advisory Board and was a campaign aide to County Council Royal Hart. She said we were hiring an environmental specialist and the proposed appointment of an equal opportunity officer as well as it ever moves it to an open lines of communication to its 1.1 million customers and almost 2,000 employees and demonstrations. And the commission is showing an increased sensitivity to human as well as engineering consideration. She said, Guild urged her to shake up in the top commission officials when headed by parent general manager Robert J. McLeod. Mrs. Norris said that she has not decided whether replacements are needed. A decision that will probably require consideration from that. D.C. City Council Chairman Gilbert Hahn said yesterday that the council will investigate Bureau of Labor statistics reporting including prices of 12 cuts of beef, veal, and poultry sold in the Washington increase between the first week of August and the first week of September. Hahn and federal officials say the figures showing an increase of 1% to 5% do not necessarily mean that retailers had violated the price freeze, which became effective last August 15th. Both Safeway and John Ray Foods make available on the Washington Post computer printouts and the weekly meat prices charged in the stores in a period before and during the freeze. Hahn indicated yesterday that the council will ask and seek the information. He implied that if it is not made available, the Government and Operations Subcommittee will hold the public hearings at which store records will be subpoenaed. And he said the council will also be checked whether lower cost grades of meat will have been peeled off the shelves or whether the number of specials offered by the places have been reduced into
like the affordable
Inauguration of Freeze on August 15th.
a website. It's a values.
The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development defended in court the refusal to subsidize low-income housing at the Watkins Glen development in Potomac. So that this week that is not responsible for promoting economic integration of residential communities. In papers filed in the U.S. District Court in Baltimore, Judy said there was no affirmative duty to promote economic integration and denied that federal civil rights laws requires to do so. The court statements appear where a legal formation of President Nixon's policy statements last June that his administration will not seek to oppose economically integrated projects upon an existing local jurisdiction. HUD spokesman said yesterday, willing to share whether the department have ever taken such a position in court before. He noted that, however, low rent hasn't cases besides Watkins Glen in which economic integration is an issue. It was learned yesterday that the Watkins Glen townhouses themselves, which last spring were in the sort of one of the Washington area's most for their housing disputes and raised in towns now stand empty and unused. A spokesman for the owners and said it is not known what will become of the townhouses. Watkins Glen at Montrose Road and Route 70S in North Potomac originally was designed as a luxury development where 52 units were sold in the $40,000 to $45,000 price range.
It fits their needs. The Obama administration says
Fairfax Supervisor Herbert E. Harris II is running for a second 4-year term from Mount Vernon District on what he calls the Herb Harris record, a 14-page white paper that outlines what he feels are his accomplishments on 10 issues. As Harris running against Republican Victor C. Gray and invented how to fetch study the key issues whether the people of Mount Vernon District want to continue to build on a record in the last 4 years and want to turn on the pre-1968 year in which Fairfax County had lost the confidence of many of its citizens. Gray and Fetch said that the issue is whether the county really wants to continue in the present era which they claim has been marked by excessive tax increases. The Mount Vernon District is home to 37,600 people who live in everything shanties and Gum Springs and posh homes along the Potomac River and its tributaries. Within its boundaries, the Potomac Bar and Alexander and routes 241 and 1 live 17,426 registered voters. In place of the pastoral community greenway and tiny houses in the historical George Washington contains the Mount Vernon Parkway and scenic overlooks along the broad Potomac. Elsewhere, Route 1 south of Alexander is so jammed with its service stations, quick stop food shops and car washes at the border supervisors at Paris began claim to the not further proliferation of such facilities. Harris said that the Lupton in the wake of our county zoning scandal says one of its major accomplishments has been put the pillars on the notice and the development in the consensus with a master plan phase rejected by the supervisors that this is a stop the attack to the commercial. United States District Judge George L. Hart is in a fierce exchange with a lawyer on the issues of whether the judge would examine as sacred government documents critical of a giant nuclear blast codenamed Kennekin and is scheduled to be touched off soon and under Alaskan Island.
6, 4, 6,
4.5,
6,
5.
6.
I'm not yet God, he said, announced that he would not do it. There would be some things that could be, things should be disclosed to my courts and not into my goddamn business. And bluntly, at that point, the lawyer asked Hart that he had seen the U.S. Court of Appeals decision and that afternoon that ordered Hart to examine the documents released them to the public if possible. The judge was given a copy of the decision. He took a few minutes to scan where it followed. It could be hardly have been a more dramatic if Chief Judge David L. Braziel of the Court of Appeals had himself tiptoed to the behind and tapped it on his shoulder. Hart looked up and said quietly that this is the most outrageous thing I ever seen. I gather from there was no damn thing the court can ask for the president. This morning at 11 a.m. Hart began reading the documents. He said and never would he would ask for God to watch over him, and while he reads the government in its hands, it also would be on hand to answer the question. Feeling the judicial outrage for his new, by Hart his blunt spoken belief that the courts have no business doing that politics exhibit and placed him in possession of most continuous confrontation with the activities for aggressive block and irresolute in court. This week, Hart is at the Swim Center legal efforts for the committee.
Running low? Then it's the perfect time to save at Stop and Shop's check-in.
The United Nations Peking told Secretary General Yutan today that it would be the delegation of the General Assembly in the near future.
K-Cups and get the Stop and Shop brand.
Former President Johnson describes his efforts to win peace in Vietnam in the 1970
This week at Stop and Shop.
to the 1968 election year in the exodus from the 14th installment of his book, The Vantage Point. You saw President Tito said yesterday that Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev told him last month that Russian troops would be withdrawn from Egypt as soon as a solution could be found on the Middle East crisis. The Justice Department yesterday made public 3 documents in which the Supreme Court nominee Womack Winker supported de facto segregation and opposed a public accommodation law in the hometown of Phoenix, Arizona.
One Boston approved and paid for this.
And the move of disbursement after more than 2 decades of foreign aid, the Senate voted 41-27 last night to kill the foreign aid program.
Provided by Luna.
The Food and Drug Administration warned that
70% off.
yesterday that 15,792 cans of Stokely Van green beans might contain deadly botulism poison. The White House in a statement last night, the Senate vote killed in 48 called the action highly irresponsible and threatening national security. American foreign aid, born of President Roosevelt's desire before U.S. entry to World War II to help Britain hold off Nazi Germany, emerged as a full-blown relief effort when World War I.
New Bedford, Mass. Say he is wanted for.
Boston and federal appeals court ruled last night that the government must temporarily suspend its grand jury investigation into disclosure of the Pentagon Papers.
Based on helmets. Hardly.
And Mississippi moment of transition.
Different from
All
red.
right, now to the weather now, and Peter Wiggins. Take it away, Peter.
Straight from the war zone.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Buchanan. Right now, our current conditions at 6 p.m. reports at 70 international light drizzle, 71 in Dulce light drizzle, 70 out in Andrews Air 4.8 light drizzle, 69 out in Fort Belvoir, 70 out in Gaithersburg, Maryland, 71 out in Annapolis, Maryland, and 71 out in Baltimore. And it's foggy from the Baltimore to Annapolis corridor, and it's a couple of drizzles around the D.C. area, down in the eastern Prince George's County, stretch west Annandale County, stretch and down through Fairfax County, line to County Island and Dulce Airport.
Check out that helmet. You've seen it. Next time they met, the sergeant gave Gomes the helmet, the one he had taken to Iraq.
I pulled up the helmet, you know, showed him, hey, this is what this means.
Okay, let us take a look at our national weather alert for today. The winter storm that flanked the Rockies
Decided where the helmet came.
and the northern plains with snow was leaving the country via the upper Mississippi Valley. However, heavy snow warnings in effect were
Right on.
for the west and central portions of North Dakota.
Helmet again.
4 inches or more additional snow were expected.
Soldiers see that around the world, to include those areas that soldiers fight in harm's way. So
There.
it's a good look for Johnny, and I hope he battles through this today.
There.
Tacoma was one of those people hoping that it would win it in
They're covered by strong chill winds with gusts up to 30 to
He says he'd rather do it tonight and avoid Halloween, and Ed, I think a lot of people.
40 miles per hour.
Primary sentiment.
Meanwhile, new snow was invading in inland areas of the Pacific Northwest.
Of course, in the St. Louis Cardinals.
Showers and thunderstorms were occurring in the Mississippi Valley.
We've been talking about how much fans have to pay to get into Game 6 tonight to be able to see the game if they have to buy a ticket in the secondary market. It's an awful lot of money.
And along the coastal areas and the southeast and the Gulf. Elsewhere, fair and dry weather held.
Against the Cardinals and the Red Sox. Meet Jordan LaDanny. He's a 5th grader attending the after-school
Sway.
programs
Warm readings generally in the 60s and 70s were the real from
in Watertown. Major League Baseball invited 4 clubs.
southeast Texas to the Gulf states.
Jordan gets the nod for Game 6 tonight.
He's a caring kid, he's an honest kid, he's a hard worker, and his reward
In the
is
Gulf
that
States.
he gets picked for an opportunity like this, and hopefully it'll resonate.
And in the lower Great Lakes
I'm gonna try to throw it
and into the Ohio Valley. Yeah?
crazy.
Temperatures around the nation today range by an early morning low of 7 below 0
But Jordan is very happy with them.
at
Well,
at Cedar City, Utah to 89 degrees at
but we've got Harvey Leonard.
Cedar City and Kingsville, Texas, and Alice, Texas. There.
Good weather.
Major map features a cold front trailed from a low in central Minnesota
He's so cool, he reminds me of Bogarts. I mean, he's just
across Missouri to southwestern Texas. There.
kidding a little bit. Anyway, look at the
A stationary front stretch from Minnesota low
nothing to worry about in terms of tonight's game with any wet weather. That's for sure.
across Michigan to the
Boston now, but it's quickly cooling down to the north and west into the 40s. So it's obviously
coast of southern New England. There.
It's already down to 45 in Norwood. As a matter of fact, I'd expect about 40.
And another cold front extended from a low in eastern Oregon
the end of the game.
and across northwestern California, and highs were
No
over
precipitation. These are the low temperatures.
southeastern
Well, later on tonight. Here's the warmth that
Canada and in Utah.
going to reach us later tomorrow.
So chaos. Forecast for Washington, Maryland will go like this for
Accompany it tomorrow. Now, as we get to trick-or-treat time.
tonight. Considerable fog development, low in the upper 50s, chance rain near 0. Sunday, fog followed by most of the sun skies high in the middle, 70s, so will be beautiful, beautiful weather for trick-or-treating activities and the Redskins game at the stadium against the Saints. Here, for Virginia, considerable fog tonight with light rain and drizzle in the southeastern portion. Sunday, chance of drizzle, light rain. Temperature tonight, middle 50s at night and middle and upper 70s for tomorrow in Virginia.
On Friday,
Lower Potomac, Chesapeake Bay.
from the west, that will also be
Tonight, fair weather with patches of fog in the evening. Winds variable at 10 knots, visibly 2 to 5 miles, and lower in the less than 1 mile in evening fog. For extended area outlook for Monday through Wednesday, weather will be fair with little or no rain expected throughout the period. Temperatures will be ranging from the 60s and upper 70s that day, and the upper 40s and lower 50s at night. Normal seasonal temperatures for Washington area high of 62 and low about 43 degrees.
before you go to sleep.
Sun set 6:10 p.m. about 9 minutes ago.
But it makes the sunset starting Sunday.
Right. Last high tide 5:40 p.m., which was about 31 minutes to go.
Sunset. So with a 47-degree temperature, that
Smog pollution.
12 to 22 miles.
Yesterday, 0.5 parts per million.
Temperatures will be dropping.
And that's gonna be it for the weather. I'm Peter Wiggins, and here now, Water Wolf with today's sports. Take away, Mr. Wolf. Okay, thank you, Mr. Wiggins. Maryland brought happiness to those post-game homecoming parties for a change yesterday by demolishing Virginia military institute like a wrecking ball, 38-0. Not even VMI's inept performance could diminish the joy of the second victory for the Terrapins, which snapped the 5-game losing streak. It was Maryland's first shutout victory since 1965 and the most points, which had MS being an opponent since 1959. Maryland's heroes were numerous on a day when it whirled up 484-yard total of fence quarterback Al Neville.
It was played in the entire month of September, by the way, because at the end of World War I.
2 touchdowns tailback Art Seymour ran for 2 more, and senior fullback Tom Miller gained for more than 20 yards of this first team since his sophomore season.
Hi everybody, welcome live back to Fenway Park. Well, that was
Coach Troy Lester actually had to call a starter troops off the last quarter, a rare occurrence they did in College Park during the last few years. Otherwise, the final score could have been much worse. He might have made a game in it for a little more than a quarter before being worn down by the much bigger Terrapins, which played an unusual role as a favorite at a long. Cadets penetrating Maryland's 20 only once. They were repulsed on 4 downs from the 10-yard line. Midway fought the final period, losing the ball in 17. They finished with just 134 yards and 6-9 on the ground. Maryland's domination line behind a 7-man defensive line was so great that during the third quarter, VMI ran off only 8 plays with a total of just 35 yards while trying to overcome a 17-0 halftime deficit.
His career here in Boston has taken a near miracle.
The Terrapins had no trouble gobbling up yards. They smashed back the cadet defense for a season high 298 yards on the ground and point. Lester's no surprise, granted on offense, not since the Duke game 2 years ago had they gained so much rushing yards. Neville completed about 7 to 10 passes for 176 yards, including the 74-yard pass run played to Dan Bungard for the Slater 7. Scoring reception this year, trying to school record. Maryland took longer than that. Rally the University of Virginia broke a 23-year, 12-game losing streak today, and the Carter Stadium were a homecoming crowd of 21,600 and watched the Capitals beat North Carolina State 14-10, not since 1940, where Virginia downed the Wolfpack 21-14 as a Virginia team unable to beat North Carolina State. But today, Virginia scored touchdowns in the first and second quarters unpassed by Larry Albert, and then hung on game late to break the Wolfpack jinx. In the early moments of the fourth quarter, North Carolina State worked the ball to the Virginia 6, but the Wilds and 4 plays allowed the Wolfpack to move on to the 4. State staged an early showing in the last quarter in an attempt to keep its mastery over the Virginia Tech, but despite the fact that Mike Stoss set a school record of 6 catches for 155 yards, where the Cowboys had one and counted the most.
John Farrell managed like it's a 7th game?
I think he does, yeah. I mean, except for maybe saving a Buckholz or a Lester for game.
Virginia got off to a poor start. Ket Barrett, who carried about 21 taps at 97 yards, fumbled out. Virginia's first offensive play at Bobby Pills, North Carolina State's defensive back, popped on the ball at the Virginia 25. How that threat was raced by safety.
4 home runs to beat the Cardinals in Game 6, forced the Game 7.
Steve Strawber when he leaped into the intercept Wolfpack quarterback. Brett Shaw intended to pass for Stoltz to the Virginia 25. Midway in the first quarter, after Virginia's Billy Maxwell tried for a 46-yard field goal that fell short, the Wolfpack took over the Stone 20 and moved the ball 80 yards for the first score of the game. Willie Bird in the game's leading rusher with 100 yards and 31 carries, climaxed to the long march by going over the right tackle from the 3. Virginia took the ensuing kickoff and in the only 6 plays moved the ball 69 yards for the 10 points. Splendid Bills, Davis made the touchdown and a 15-yard pass from Albert with sparkling catch in the end zone. Bills was only inch behind Davis, but the 6'4", 203-pound receiver took the shot from Albert and only right shoulder and fell foul in his face in the end zone.
Discount furniture and online at mybombs.com. Will you find such quality, choice, and value?
South Bend, Indiana. Notre Dame turned its back on its own creation today. Scored with 4 passes in favor of Sleeping Golden and Newsom, a ground attack that put Navy under 21-0. All 3 Irish touchdowns came as the same drives that exploded passes at Notre Dame. Quarterback Cliff Brown threw only 5 times before leaving with 3 minutes to play. Navy suffered 6 lost at 8 games, but it was the best showing against Notre Dame in 8 years. Notre Dame, despite an also weight advantage, was held close to the day. In its second half, had a punt blocked and saw its quarterback sacked lost it 4 times for 28 yards.
The future of Boston.
Waco, Texas. Jim Pittman, coach of the Texas Christian University football, died at Providence Hospital.
Cutting bureaucracy, investing those savings in the classroom, holding principals, teachers, and students to the highest.
Hattiesburg, Mississippi University Richmond football coach Frank Jones, 45, was rushed to a hospital tonight.
Violence. For more after-school programs.
That's tonight. So will the Redskins. William Olin Kilmer will endeavor tomorrow to take the Redskins back the first half of the regular season at their best record in 21 years at 6-1. It is a corollary. The quarterback demonstrates the owner John W. Metcalf Jr. of the New Orleans Saints and the person at RPK saying that he can run a pro football offense better than Metcalf can run a franchise. Kilmer was never a satisfaction. They realized that their jobs were the points of the contention during the verbals back in the winter to the press last summer after the Saints traded Kilmer to the Redskins. Linebacker Tom Russell, now in the Cavs squad, went to the Saints along with the number 4 and 8 draft choice. In 1940, the Redskins were unbeaten and tied throughout the first 7 games. In 1943, they had a 5-1 record before losing. Kilmer has to be traded by the Saints after they drafted quarterback Archie Manning from the University of Mississippi, number 1. And decided to lead a youth movement with him. Coach J.D. Roberts, they wouldn't wait until game time on 5 p.m. to make a decision on whether Manning is sufficiently recovered from a pulled thigh muscle to start every 2009. Third season veteran Ed Hargan will get the call. Besides Manning, who had practiced only briefly this week, the odds against the Saints have gone up from 14 to 17 points. Was Manning who quarterbacked them to the 2 victories against the 3 losses in a tie. Victories were big ones over the Los Angeles Rams and the Dallas Cowboys. The Redskins will be playing by that split end Charlie Taylor's and tight end Jerry Smith as they attempted to maintain the 1-game lead over the Cowboys atop the Eastern Division. Taylor suffered an ankle fracture in the first half of the 27-20 loss today. Kansas City last weekend, and it'll be on the loss for at least 5 weeks. Smith has been placed on the move list after aggravated groin muscle injury 3 weeks ago against
That's who Marty Walsh is, and that's why I'm proud to
Houston, and then again last weekend in his first return in action.
And that's why I'm supporting Marty.
Coach George Allen says Boyd Dowell will be started split head, but Clifton big deal picked up the system. Swelson being acquired from the New York Giants on Tuesday that will likely play. Matt Carlson again will start in tight end. Brett defensive end Vernon Wiggins is a stretch will start. Jimmy Jones may open in this position. Bonded about reversal of forming the defense from a 26th loss to Atlanta last weekend let down by the Redskins. The Saints figured he made the order for Kilman's tackling strategy. He prefers to move Larry Brown and Charlie Harway both that ball on the ground before setting it up. Pass it unfold for after they're going to be friends. Quarterback Dick Shannon, the former Redskins, managed ball control by the Falcons by having the backs go up 24 yards rushing the Saints allowed. Ranked number 11 against the run after allowing an average of 166.8 yards a game. Characteristics of a young, aggressive team, New Orleans has been inconsistent, sky high or flat. Manning has been completely less than 50% of his passes, 44.8%, target 42.3. They have been sacked far more than any other New Hampshire Football League passes. 21 times the Saints have been accounted for their only victories home. They have lost 10 games and tied 2 on the road since beating the Giants in New York 1969. The Redskins ranked number 1 in the national conference in total defense and rush defense, 5th in pass defense. The Saints have been a former pass receiving championship in trip kick flanker Dan Amberwitz, who is averaging 19.1 yards for 20 catches. Dave Parks is a speedy tight end who have been converted from a wide receiver and also split ends Al Dodd and Bob Newell and can get deep fast. Running backs, Dave Ford, Royal Granger, and Bob Grisham average about 3.7 yards a carry and only 40 gain more than 20 yards, 10 more. The ingredients for a victory in the Redskins appear to be evident, and yet the expansion Saints have pulled upsets in 2 of the 5 games in the series. And that's going to be for the Channel 9 Hours News, 6 p.m. quarter this Saturday, October 3rd, next day when I'm Mac Buchanan, Peter Wiggins, and Warren Webson. Hope you have a good evening. Come next to the CBS Evening News with Roger Munn, Bob Schiefer, Dan Rabbit, and we'll be back for the
number sales event is going on now.
Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. Have a good evening.